So Scrap Mechanic have actually given us a whole post about the trailer that they dropped the other day, and it includes stuff like the dialogue system, tornadoes, also a bunch of questions that you guys have probably been wondering, like the price of Scrap Mechanic going up. Really quickly, I just want to say, other creators like Khan, Scrapman, Kosmo, right here, they've been given early access to Chapter 2, which you've probably already watched. I haven't. I'm going to be keeping my playthrough completely spoiler-free. I'm not going to be watching any other videos. I'm probably going to be staying away from like Reddit, every YouTube video, Discord for like a whole month or two. So with that, I just want to ask you guys, please do not spoil anything about the update for me and for other people watching down below in the comments. I know everybody's so excited for this update to finally come out, but once I do start making Chapter 2 videos, which I will, I want it to be completely spoiler-free. So before we get into this post, I actually missed a lot of things in this trailer that you guys picked up on and let me know about. So we're going to really quickly just go through them. The first thing that we see in the trailer that I didn't pick up on was this, the mechanic shop. Look at that. No longer is it just an uneven surface. The surface of the mechanic station used to have just like this thing that would pop up and your car would get stuck on. Now it is completely flat. So we've got a completely flat surface to work on, which is great. I'm also have still no idea what the purpose of these stairs are, considering that the lift exists. Don't know. The next thing that I was told about was, do you see it? Right there. Right there, and there. They've actually finally added the T-pipe pieces to the game. I don't know how it's taken 6 years for this piece to be added, but if you've ever used the pipe pieces, you would have really quickly realized that this piece is pretty essential, and we don't have it, so it's great to see that it'll finally be in Chapter 2. I don't think there's any other pieces, like pipe pieces, like is there a 4-way pipe piece? I can't see it here at least, but there might be. Once again, you guys might know the answers to some of these questions I'm having from seeing other creators' videos on the Chapter 2 update already. I might be wrong about a few things. I like speculating, I like theorizing. That is fine. Please do not spoil the update. Hold up! I haven't seen anybody mention this. Is this, you know, a tool that you don't hold in your inventory, but a tool that is there for the animation of when you place the wheel on, you know, that how it has the screw? I think this is just a remodel of that drill. Like this right here. Whenever you place a block, you don't have the animation of you placing it. You have this hammer here. And I feel like, yeah, this is the same thing here. Didn't notice that as well the first time. Also, this as well, I didn't notice. It's actually got like a glow around the end of the connection tool when you use it, which is pretty neat. Oh, that was another thing. Apparently, the fire extinguisher, you're actually able to place it on creations. So in theory, you're going to be able to make like a fire suppression system all throughout your base on like sprinklers. That's going to be sick. You can see it in action right... I missed it. Right there. There's the fire cannon, I believe that is. The visuals, by the way, look amazing. Look at that rock node back there. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Yeah, this, look at that. A bearing directly on a suspension piece. Always before, you had to have like a block in between the bearing and a suspension. Now it looks like you can just directly place a suspension piece on top of a bearing, and there seems to be like a weird, like half block right there, which is interesting. Or maybe the suspension piece has just a pre-built bearing on it. I don't know. You can have bearings on suspensions. That's very cool. Okay, now that's all of it. We can now get on to the post that the developers posted 2 days ago now. I'm a little bit later. But they go into depth more about what to expect from Chapter 2. And they speak about some things that I honestly weren't expecting. So, yeah, the new 1.0 and Drilling Thunder trailer is here. As Drilling Thunder drops you and your friends into an epic full-story engineering survival adventure. Full story. We're actually going to get some sort of story. Venture into an open world and abandoned mines to uncover deep secrets, fight new bots, enemies, and build incredible machines that haven't been possible before, all wrapped in an immersive new graphical upgrade. Yeah, I gotta say, the game looks fantastic. Look at it right here. Look at this picture. I love how, like, dingy, I guess. I don't know if you guys can see that properly, but everything looks a bit more worn down and shaded. Still keeping the classic vibe of Scrap Mechanic, though. But yeah, major changes and new features. We got story and NPC. Survival experience comes with a full story from beginning to end. That is confirmed. We've actually got an end sequence to the game, which... Does the ending mean that once we finish it, we can't play that world again? Or is it going to be sort of like Minecraft, where it's sort of like killing the Ender Dragon, where once you defeat it, sure, that's the end, there's no more progression, but you can still hop back into your world and build crazy stuff. You know, I really hope it's like the latter and not just, yeah, you ditch everything, because if that is the case, that I yeah, I don't like that. But you got fully voice-acted NPCs. That's amazing. I hate in games. This is a little nitpick of mine. I can't read, so having actual voice acting in the game is amazing, rather than me like misinterpreting what they meant. We get a closer look at Hubert here. We also see that there's a fancy-looking crosshair right there. Very interesting. I do kind of like it. Hubert does seem to not be by his post that we saw him in the trailer. He was in by the farmer hideout area. Now he just seems to be in the middle of nowhere. Maybe he follows you. I don't know. Or maybe he teleports around the map, depending on the quest. What does he say? I know. How about some tomatoes? The biggest, reddest ones you can find. Think you can handle it. What? What quest is that, buddy? Oh, don't make them fetch quests. Don't make them fetch quests. They're gonna be like, get 50 tomatoes for me, pronto. I think the developers know not to. I think there's a mix you can do. You can do like get 10 of this, 10 of that. But then I think they did it really well. The achievements, they did a mix of grinding ones where you have to kill like 100 toadbots, and then there were also other achievements where it was like just wear a t-shirt and eat a burger. Those are funny. So I think it would be a mix. I'm hoping at least. I trust the developers. Then we've got the Minor Island. Drilling Thunder adds a massive new area to the world, letting the player dig deep into the abandoned mine to uncover dark secrets. Yeah, we already know this. This is like the main part of the update. The main focus was the underground island. We do get confirmation once again that it is an island and not a part of the mainland. World overhaul. The terrain has gone through major changes, featuring brand new tiles as well as reworked terrain generation. Dive through the new forest roads and cross the desert biome, but avoid the tornadoes. Oh, don't. Okay, this makes the whole Drilling Thunder name much more understandable. If, you know, when they announced weather, or when we saw the weather in the trailer, I thought, okay, it's just going to be aesthetic based, right? So, like, rain will probably water your crops, but that's about it. But tornadoes, if this actually affects your base and, like, rips it to shreds, that would suck. But that's such a cool feature. So that goes to show that there's much more to weather than just rain. And with the mention of the desert biome here, maybe there's like sandstorms. Yeah, either way, this is amazing. I can't wait. New building parts. A ton of new building parts have been added, allowing the players to build completely unique creations that were never possible before. There are a massive amount of new blocks, parts, interactive parts to get creative. Yeah, we once again saw that in the trailer. Tons of stuff we can build. I'm assuming we have to get that stuff by ripping it from the warehouse. I don't know. New enemies. We just got a bunch of new yeah, we've seen all of these new enemies. Get ready for a bunch of new enemy bots to deal with. The new bots create some really interesting encounters and encourage creative new combat and defense game play. Lovely. Yeah, so we've got these guys, who, as you can see, are in the air. These guys sort of like, they essentially jump up and then absolutely slam dunk you. This guy is an underwater based creature. I think the devs described this guy as an underwater torpedo, so it's going to be really interesting to make some underwater defenses. And we've got many more that they've added, like the red toadbot, the creeper, and tons more. The clay gun shaped the terrain. Yeah, this is interesting. We're very excited to introduce the clay gun. Available in creative and survival, this tool introduced a completely new way of building and shaping the ground. Interesting. The clay gun. This seems like a very late game thing, right? But my question is, like, what we've seen in the trailers is that it's just brown dirt. Will grass eventually grow on it so you can actually build terrain? I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I'm very excited to mess around with it, that is for sure. We got new garments to customize your character. This update comes loaded with a bunch of new shirts, outfits to collect. Some are much harder to obtain than others. Okay. I bet there's going to be one for killing the trash bot. Imagine, that is the thing that you get from killing the trash bot. Here's a fedora. Yeah, you spent 50 hours trying to kill this boss. Here's a hat. Steam achievements. Yeah, we know this. We had a whole video going over all the 34 achievements. Maybe they might add more, who knows? Improved network responsiveness. Hold up. This update comes with a massive wave of optimization for one thing multiplayer fans will appreciate the most, is the improved network responsiveness for connected players. Yeah, Scrap Mechanic has terrible multiplayer connection issues, especially back in the day. I'm talking like 2018. It's a little bit better now, but it's still not great. Like, you will be seeing something completely different to what someone else sees. Someone else might not even see you in the same place. They might be like halfway across the map when in reality there right in front of your face. Or like your creations would glitch out and like your wheels would go crazy, even though on your end it's perfectly fine. Yeah, gonna be very interesting to see that. I cannot wait. Okay, we've got a next gen visual upgrade. Get ready for a massive visual overhaul that brings Sprite Mechanic to life like never before. We're introducing 100% dynamic lighting, weather system, and dramatically enhances your immersion, all without requiring expensive ray tracing hardware. I hope not. My PC is like, it can't even handle Roblox, bro. So, I hope it's able to handle Scrap Mechanic. It's a big worry of mine, especially with all of the new stuff they're doing. So, yeah, I don't know. Volumetric clouds responsive where realistic water rendering. Are they changing how water works? And grass that physically reacts to your character movements. Grass that actually moves when you move through it. Oh my goodness. The more that we see of this update, the more I'm just seeing how polished this game is. With details like the grass moving. That was never a thing. And with realistic water rendering, I doubt there'll be waves or tides. I'm just assuming the water will look a little bit different. Oh man. With the new visuals as well, amazing. This is just some of the things in the 1.0 Drilling and Thunder update. However, there's so much more to discover. Common questions. All right, will the price change? Yes. Scrap Mechanic will now cost $30 after the 1.0 update. So I think right now it costs, for me at least in the UK, it's £18. So if we put that into dollars, it's $24. Okay. So your best bet, if you haven't got Scrap Mechanic already, get it now. Because I think even with the Steam discounts that they will have, it's probably just going to knock it down to the price that it already is at now. Will my old world still work in 1.0? Your old world will still work in creative mode, okay. However, your old survival worlds will only work by switching to an older version, but starting a new world is really worth it since survival mode now has a full story from beginning to end and a ton of new content. Yeah, a lot of you guys were actually telling me this when I was building my helicopter, when I was building my plane. Actually, you're gonna have to start a new world. And I already knew that from like 6 months ago. It's been speculation forever. Yeah, I was fully expecting that. I mean, with all the content, it's been 6 years. Will 1.0 be buggy and break things? The release is different from previous ones. We have done a lot more rigorous testing with QA teams pre-release. Things are looking stable, but as with any game release, especially when they are this big, there might be, yeah, I'm expecting so many bugs and issues, but I believe that they have done, I mean, it's been 6 years. If they haven't done any testing, that's going to be appalling. But yeah, with, like they say, any game release, no matter what it is, there's gonna be bugs. So I'm totally expecting that, and that's fine. Did the system requirements change in 1.0? Yes, with all the changes we've done, the requirements are okay. Here are the requirements, if you're wondering, for the new update. I don't know what any of it means. I hope that I hit the minimum. Do I hit the minimum? I do not hit the recommended, though. Get ready for the 1.0 and Drilling Thunder release on the 24th of July, 2026. That is pretty much a week, or like less than a week now to go. So yeah, that is everything. Hope you guys are as excited as I am. Once again, I know I've said this at the start, please do not spoil the update, even like a week or two after the videos have come out. Yeah, please don't. I'm gonna keep my entire playthrough as spoiler-free as I can. But I trust you guys not to spoil. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. A huge shout out to all of my members on screen right now. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I shall see you later. Bye-bye!